You see, we vote governments to work and deliver development for our well-being. We don't vote them to come and just give us words. Words that you cannot relate to action. Words that you cannot relate to activity. Words that you cannot actually relate to the daily occurrences in your life and in the performance of that government. I would have thought, and we will be looking into the details as we moved on, that in empathizing, you give us indication that you are doing A, B, C, D to demonstrate that you truly empathize. You don't empathize with me, Samson, if I have lost a relation, and at the same time, you are laughing and smiling all over around. When you are empathizing with somebody who is going through a certain situation, your behavior will tell whether truly the words that you use, you mean them.
The budget does not reflect austerity.
The budget does not reflect that. The budget, the government policies, the budget that was presented does not reflect that.
Show us how.
For example, we've all been complaining, businesses have been complaining, that they need a certain support, a certain arrangement that will enable them perform better or at least come above and be able to sustain themselves. Because a number of them are already leaving the country and more have plans to leave. This budget that was presented gives no comfort to any business person. If your situation doesn't get worse, they have just told you that you are just going to be at the same thing that has been happening is what is going to happen. No comfort for any business. So
you were in the house yesterday.
I was in the house yesterday.
You approved tax waivers for how many companies?
Well, yesterday we
About
did not approve
tax waivers.
We
right?
did not approve a tax waiver. What we did was more of a tax substitution. So government now acquire shares.
No. What was before you was tax waivers.
Well,
and you approved it
originally,
and it is intended to cushion some of these companies.
No.
So that they don't leave the country to the other places, like you said, correct?
Since you have asked this question, it's not part of my presentation. It was before us. It's a bauxite arrangement. The bauxite company, I think, being run by some Indians before, and then they were selling it. Government originally had 20% shares. This company was asking for a 38-point-something million tax waivers, and we opposed it. So following our opposition to it, negotiations went on and on and on, and they agreed that, okay, instead of a waiver for them, a complete waiver for them where they would not pay it, they were willing to convert it to what? Shares. So they did the evaluation of the company and brought the value of the company, which gave Ghana additional 2-point-something% shares. Then the value that they brought was disagreed upon. And so the Ministry of Finance went further to do an independent evaluation. That increased the government's share or Ghana's share to 3%. So as we speak now, instead of the 20% that we had, the 38-point-something million tax waivers has given Ghana an additional 3%. So it is not a waiver as we know it in the past, but it's more like tax substitution. So we've gotten shares for.
I think we are talking about two different things.
No.
You go on with the budget, because
I don't know what you are talking about, because that was the only thing we did yesterday. That was the only thing we did in relation to tax yesterday.
The approved tax waiver amounts to 1.5 million euros for the supply and installation of e-learning laboratories in senior high schools across the country. This is in the list of what I'm referring to.
Well, what I know we did yesterday, I'm a member of the Public Accounts Committee, as you said earlier. We had our sittings in the morning. I'm unaware that during the morning sitting, any tax was considered. But we considered this bauxite. Unfortunately, I don't have my other paper here to be able to refer to it directly. But what we did yesterday was a 38 point something million tax issues in relation to a bauxite arrangement. But that one was a tax substitution.
That's a different thing.
So that's what I know of. I'm not aware of this one that you are talking about.
All right. So thank you for your preliminary comment. Let me come to
something. But you took my preliminary away from the real things that I wanted to say to the issue of. But anyway, we'll have opportunity to come.
Exactly. You are coming to
but
it.
One correction that I wanted to also make, that I'm no more a member of the Defense and Interior Committee. As a result of the realignment,
new changes.
I've been moved to the Security and Intelligence Committee, a committee that I now ranked.
Okay.
So I'm
Thank
no
you.
more with the Defense and Interior Committee.
Yes,